Hello team, today I am going to be telling you all about my 2022 pre-orders. I currently have 21 books pre-ordered for 2022. On the Black Friday sale for Waterstones, I ended up doing a whole like 140 quid pre-order, and they had triple points on orders over 100 points, double points on anything under 100 pounds, sorry, £100, double points on anything under 100 quid. And then they've done the same thing again just now on the 16th of December, and this is running up till the weekend, or through the weekend I think. So I have done, well, I had a second pre-order in and then I deleted it and I've done it all again and then just put another third pre-order in because I just found out that Sophie Anderson's releasing a new book, and then I found some more middle grades to order. So I have 3 lots of pre-orders in now, all with, well, one set with triple points and the other 2 with double points. So I should get some nice points next year. For Waterstones, this doesn't include anything that I decide to buy on the off the cuff or anything that I hadn't even thought about that was coming out. So yeah, these are the 21 books that I have pre-ordered so far. I will give you like a brief rundown of what they are about, but there is a mix of romance, I think a little bit maybe of sci-fi on here. There is a lot of middle grade, maybe 1 or 2 fantasies. I haven't put a lot of the fantasies and sci-fis on the basis that I don't know what's coming in the Illumicrate and Fairy loot boxes that I am subscribed to. So I don't want double books if I can help it, because they take up space on my shelves. So I would rather have the Illumicrate and Fairy loot special editions. So unless it's a case of it's a book that I really want and I want to try and get as many of the special editions as I can. For example, I have 4 copies of Addie LaRue and I have already unhauled one of those, so I did have 5, but there's no need for that. But yeah, so let's get into these and let you know what I have pre-ordered. So the first one is Duke Actually, which comes out on the 6th of January in the UK. This is a follow-on from A Princess for Christmas by Jenny Holiday. I have not read A Princess for Christmas and I've been trying to get hold of a copy, but I can't. So I'm going to try and have to get hold of one of those. I don't know how much it follows on from that. I know sometimes they say it's part of a series, but you can actually read them separately. They're just companion novels. So I'm not sure whether they follow on and I have to have read the first one, or whether it's a companion novel. But I have been burned with this before, with the series by Abby Jimenez, which is, where are you? The Friend Zone and the Happily Ever After playlist. I read the Happily Ever After playlist first and then went back to the Friend Zone, and I was really fucking frustrated that I'd done it that way round. So I do want to try and read A Princess for Christmas first if I can. I am going to have another look, see if I can get it maybe on Kindle. I think it's just that it was so expensive on Kindle, and I was like, well, for an extra couple of quid I might as well get the paperback, but I just can't get the paperback from anywhere, so we'll see. Anyway, the synopsis for this is: there's a royal wedding on and things are about to get interesting. Meet the man of the hour. Maximilian von Hansberg, Baron of Loudon and heir to the Duke of Aguila, is not having a Merry Christmas. He's been dumped by a princess, he's unemployed, and his domineering father has sent him to New York to meet a prospective bride he has no interest in. In the city he meets Danny Martinez, a smart and gorgeous professor he's determined to befriend before their best friends marry in the Eldovian wedding of the century. Meet the best woman. Newly single, no-nonsense New Yorker Danny is done with love. She even has a list entitled Things I Will Never Do Again for a Man, which is why she hits it off with the notorious rake Max. He's the perfect partner for snow angels in Central Park and deep conversations about the futility of love. It's all fun and games until their friendship deepens into an attraction, and oops, falling in love was never part of the plan. This sounds fantastic. I'm obsessed with the cover for this one, and I'm really excited. So yeah, this does come out on the 6th of January. Also coming out on the 6th of January is The Sad Ghost Club Volume 2 by Lizzie Meddings. I really loved the first one of this series. It's just so good. It is a graphic novel series, and it's basically following a couple of characters that we meet in the first book. And the synopsis for this one is: ever felt anxious or alone, like you don't belong anywhere, like you're almost invisible? Find your kindred spirits at the Sad Ghost Club. You're not alone. Shh, pass it on. When two strangers meet at a party and realise they both feel different from everyone else there, they start the Sad Ghost Club, a secret society for the anxious and alone, a club for people who think they don't belong. But when a third ghost wants to join the club, things get a bit more complicated. Can the two ghosts overcome their insecurities and uncertainties in their new friendship and find a way to welcome the new member to the club? I'm so excited about this. I cannot wait. I really adored the first one. I think I've read it 2 or 3 times now because I got an e-arc of it on NetGalley as well. So I read it on there first, and I think I've read the physical copy like twice as well. And I just really love it. It's a perfect one for when you're feeling anxious or alone. It's really, really good. So I would recommend checking this one out if you're interested in doing so. The next book I have pre-ordered is How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson, and this comes out in the UK on January 13th. I have seen this coming out in the Book of the Month boxes last month, so I am really jealous of you guys getting the gorgeous hardback version of this because it comes straight out in paperback in this country, so that's a shame. But yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to get this because I friggin' love Keanu Reeves and it sounds so interesting. So the synopsis says, Bethany Lou Carlisle is devastated when the tabloids report actor Keanu Reeves is about to tie the knot. What? How could the world's perfect boyfriend and forever bachelor, Keanu, not realise that making a move like this could potentially be devastating to the equilibrium of, well, everything? Not to mention, he's never come face to face with the person who could potentially be his true soulmate, her. Desperate to convince Keanu to call off the wedding, Lou and her ride-or-die BFF Truman Erickson take a wild road trip to search for the elusive Keanu, so that Lou can fulfill her dream of meeting her forever crush and confess her undying love. From New York to LA, Lou and True get into all sorts of sticky situations. Will Lou be able to find Keanu and convince him she's the one for him, or maybe she'll discover true love has been by her side all along? Oh, I'm so excited. It sounds so good. I'm really looking forward to this one, and I just adore the cover for it as well. It sounds amazing. Then we have Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and this comes out on the 18th of January in the UK. And the synopsis for this one is, a troubled young mother yearns for a shot at redemption in this heartbreaking yet hopeful story from New York Times bestseller author Colleen Hoover. After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna Rowan returns to the town where it all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter. But the bridges Kenna burned are proving impossible to rebuild. Everyone in her daughter's life is determined to shut Kenna out, no matter how hard she works to prove herself. The only person who hasn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger Ward, a local bar owner and one of the few remaining links to Kenna's daughter. But if anyone were to discover how Ledger is slowly becoming an important part of Kenna's life, both would risk losing the trust of everyone important to them. The two form a connection despite the pressure surrounding them, but as their romance grows, so does the risk. Kenna must find a way to absolve the mistakes of her past in order to build a future out of hope and healing. I love this. I'm really excited about this one because it's not just a romance, it features like a mother-daughter relationship as well. And also it's you know, redemption, like forgiveness story as well, which I'm really here for. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It sounds fantastic. Then we have one that wasn't really on my radar. I think I've gotten this recommendation from Kayla from Books and Lala. I'm sure she's hauled this recently, or she's mentioned it recently, and this is At the End of Everything by Marieke Nijkamp. And this one comes out on February 24th. Why is it in my... You're a fucking idiot. This comes out on February 24th. I'm going to tell you about it anyway. The dates are out of order now. It's fine. Whatever. I'm an idiot. And this one says... another heartbreaking, emotional and timely page turner that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The Hope Juvenile Treatment Centre is ironically named. No one has hope for the delinquent teenagers who have been exiled there. The world barely acknowledges that they exist. Then the guards at Hope start acting strange, and one day they don't show up. But when the teens band together to make a break from the facility, they encounter soldiers outside the gates. There's a rapidly spreading infectious disease out there, and no one can leave their houses or travel without a permit, which means that they're stuck at home, and this time no one is watching out for them at all. As supplies quickly dwindle and deadly plague tears through their ranks, the group has to decide who among them they can trust and figure out how they can survive in a world that has never wanted them in the first place. I'm really looking forward to this, and I feel like it's going to hit home a lot, obviously, with the pandemic that we've had since 2020. So I feel like it's going to hit home massively, but it sounds really, really interesting. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It sounds brilliant. Then going back to the beginning of February, because I'm an idiot and can't put dates in my phone correctly, we have Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy, which comes out on February 1st. Obviously, I've become a big fan of Elle Kennedy in the year of 2021, and I'm very excited about this one. Full of romance, hijinks and longing, Good Girl Complex is Elle Kennedy at her very best. I'm excited about this. She does everything right, so what could go wrong? Mackenzie Mac Cabot is a people pleaser. Her demanding parents, her prep school friends, her longtime boyfriend. It's exhausting really, always following the rules. All she wants to do is focus on growing her internet business, but first she must get a college degree at her parents' insistence. That means moving to the beachside town of Avalon Bay, a community made up of locals and the wealthiest students of Garnet College. 20-year-old Mac has had plenty of practice suppressing her wilder impulses, but when she meets local bad boy Cooper Hartley, that ability is suddenly tested. Cooper is rough around the edges, raw, candid, a threat to her ordered existence. Their friendship soon becomes the realest thing in her life. Despite his disdain for the trust fund kids he sees coming and going from his town, Cooper soon realises Mac isn't just another rich clone and falls for her hard. But as Mac finally starts feeling accepted by Cooper and his friends, the secret he's been keeping from her threatens the only place she's ever felt at home. Sounds really interesting. I'm really excited for this one. Definitely sounds like something similar to like Punk 57 maybe by Penelope Douglas. A little bit maybe. We'll see. But I do love the whole, you know, good girl, bad boy complex. I love that. So excited about that. So really looking forward to that one. Then obviously we have Crescent City 2 with House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. That title is still weird to me. I just feel like breath in a title is a very strange thing to be doing unless it's like out of breath or something. It's very weird. Sky and breath is a strange combination. This comes out on February 15th in the UK and I am so hyped for it. I refuse to read the synopsis. I'm not looking at it. But we will be back with Bryce and Hunt and all the other characters that we met in the first book. I read that book in a day. Literally in 24 hours, and I really think that I need to reread it, so I'm hoping to do a reread of that before House of Sky and Breath comes out so that I can, you know, binge the two one after the other. But I'm really excited for this one, and I'm hoping that a lot of you other people are very excited about it also sick to death of seeing this in the YA section of the fucking bookstores. Can you please sort yourselves out? Waterstones, I am speaking to you because I spotted it in your YA section the other day while I was in there. So just FYI, it's not YA. Neither is It Ends With Us. Just FYI by Colleen Hoover. Sick to death of seeing it in there. Anywho, next we have Sabotage on the Solar Express by MG Leonard and Sam Sedgman. This might be a weird one because I've only read the first in the series and this is book 5, but I've really enjoyed the first one, so I now have all of the others. I was gifted them for my birthday, which is awesome, so I'm really excited about picking the rest of those up and then getting to this one, which does come out on February 17th. And this one is following, this series in general follows Hal and his uncle Nat. They go on these train journeys, epic train journeys, and then something happens. So the first one was the Highland Falcon thief, and on that one there was a thief on board the train that was stealing jewels, and Hal and his uncle Nat tried to figure out who it was, and they basically just go on these different types of train journeys. And on this one, billionaire train enthusiast August Reza has invited Harrison Beck and Uncle Nat on the maiden Voyager of the Solar Express, the winning design of his Reza's rocket competition. But during the journey they discover the train has been sabotaged, hurtling passengers into a heart-stopping, action-packed thrill ride across the Australian outback. Can Hal find the saboteur and stop the runaway train before disaster strikes? I loved the first one. I thought it was fantastic, so I'm really excited about reading the rest. I know that I'm going to enjoy them despite the fact that I haven't read them yet. I know it's going to be a good time, so I'm hyped. Then we have Lucky Leap Day by Anne Marie Walker. I am looking forward to this one. 24th of Feb this comes out. And so up and coming screenwriter Cara Kennedy has the biggest meeting of her career in 2 days. But for now, she's on vacation. Her short trip to Ireland is all planned out. See the sights around Dublin. Don't think about her jerk of an ex she was supposed to spend this trip with. Relax with some Irish whiskey. Propose to a sexy Irish musician on Leap Day. Wake up married. Wait, those 2 last things weren't on her list. A whirlwind trip to Ireland is supposed to end with a suitcase full of wool, sweaters and souvenir pint glasses, not husband you only just met. After one too many whiskies, fledgling screenwriter Cara Kennedy takes a page out of someone else's script when she gets caught in the Irish tradition of women proposing on Leap Day. She wakes up the next morning with a hot guy in her bed and a tinfoil ring on her finger. Her flight is in 4 hours and she has the most important meeting of her career in exactly 2 days. Nothing she can do except take her new husband and his adorable dog back to LA with her and try to untangle the mess she's made of her life. Perfect for fans of Friends to lovers. I am so excited about this. Also, I feel like that was 2 different synopses but put together in one. And like I just repeated myself for most of it. I carried on because I felt like it might give me a little bit more information. It did. There's a dog involved. So I'm very excited about that one. Okay, so Rainbow Grey book 2, which is Eye of the Storm by Laura Ellen Anderson. This comes out on March 3rd. I only found out about it today when I'm filming this video. So this went on that second pre-order that I've made today. And ended up with double points on, which is awesome. So this is the second book in the Magical New series from best-selling author and illustrator Lauren Ellen Anderson. I'm not going to read the synopsis on the basis that I haven't read the first book yet, but I can read you the synopsis from the first book because I have it here for a video that another video I've just done. So this is Rainbow Grey book 1 with this fancy sprayed edges. I bought the next one with the fancy sprayed edges and I'm excited. And on the back of this one it says, the world needs a rainbow like never before. 10-year-old Ray Gray wishes she had magic like her friends. Life in the Weatherlands just isn't the same without it. But then a forbidden trip to Earth turns everything Ray thought she knew about herself upside down. Ray must dig deep to find her inner power, battle new enemies and let her true colours shine. So I'm really excited about Rainbow Grey number 2. So I am looking forward to both of these. I'm thinking that I will pick up Rainbow Grey near the time when Rainbow Grey 2 comes out, and then I can binge them. Because why the heck not? Then we have Camilla Knows Best by Farah Heron, which comes out on March 8th. I am really looking forward to this one because I did read Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron earlier on this year and loved it. It was fantastic. I loved her writing style. So I'm hyped for this one. And this says, Jane Austen's Emma goes Bollywood in this delightful retelling from the highly acclaimed author of Accidentally Engaged. Perfect for fans of Abby Jimenez, I adore her, and Jasmine Guillory. I haven't tried anything from Jasmine Guillory yet, to be honest. Camilla Hussein's life may not be perfect, but phew, it's close. She lives a life of comfort filled with her elaborate Bollywood movie parties, a dog with more Instagram followers than most reality stars, a job she loves and an endless array of friends who clearly need her help finding love. In fact, Camilla is so busy with her friends' love lives, she hardly given any thought to her own. Fortunately, Camilla has Rohan Nasser, a long-time friend of the family. He's hugely successful with the deliciously lean, firm body of a rock climber. Only lately, Camilla's harmless flirting is making her insides do a little Bhangra dance. But between planning the local shelter's puppy prom, throwing a huge work event and proving to everyone that she's got it all figured out, Camilla isn't letting herself get distracted until her secret nemesis returns to town with an eye for Rohan. Suddenly it seems like the more Camilla tries to plan, the more things are starting to unravel and her perfectly ordered life is about to be turned upside down. This sounds fantastic and I am so here for it. I just love Farah Heron's writing style. I think it's going to be so good, and the smut that was in Accidentally Engaged was top notch, so I'm really hoping that there's some in this one as well. Then we have the book that kicked off my second pre-order of the day today, which is The Thief Who Sang Storms by Sophie Anderson. I have loved Sophie's previous books, which are The Girl Who Speaks Bear, The House with Chicken Legs and The Castle of Tangled Magic. I adored them all. This one comes out on March 31st and I did get the, was there a special edition one? I can't bloody remember. It might be signed. I have no idea. So this one says, the island of Morovia is shaped like a broken heart. The humans live on one side of the island and the Alkonosts, the bird people, live on the other, but it wasn't always this way. Lynette wishes she could sing magic like her father, Nightingale, and bring the two sides of her island together again. For her land has been divided by a terrible tragedy, and Lynette has been banished with her father to the deepest swamps, leaving behind her best friends, Hero and Silver. These names are awesome. So when her father is captured, Lynette must be brave and embark on a treacherous journey. Through alligator pools and sinking sands, she finds new friends. Yet without her singing magic, Lynette discovers something even more powerful, something that could save her father and heal the broken heart of the island once more. With themes of grief, trust, love, and that we have more in common than that which divides us, this is a heartfelt book filled with adventure and stunning storytelling from best-selling Sophie Anderson. It sounds wonderful, and I really do adore her books, so I'm very excited. The illustrations are always absolutely stunning, and the covers are always bloody beautiful as well, so I'm very, very excited about this one. Also coming out on March 31st, it's going to be a good day, is Benjamin Dean's new book, which is The Sunshine Project, and I'm hyped for this one because I loved Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow by Benjamin Dean that came out this year. It was absolutely brilliant, got 5 stars from me, and I bloody adored it. So I'm very hyped for this one. Another one that got added to my second pre-order of today, because again, I didn't know Benjamin Dean had a new book coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. So this one says, Bee's family are happy, like really happy, like kind of gross but also cute happy. So when they visit London Pride together and have the ultimate day out, Bee doesn't think her family could possibly get any happier. But a year later, a grey cloud is following Bee's family around. Dad has passed away, and without him around, they have no choice but to pack their bags and move to the countryside to live with Gran. With Bee's big sister, Riley, taking the news hard, Bee will do anything to cheer her up. So with the help of new friends, the Secret Sunshine Project is formed. Bee's plan to bring pride to the countryside and a smile back to Riley's face. There's just one teeny tiny problem. The village mayor, a grumpy old woman who's on a mission to rain on Bee's parade. I've just got chills reading that synopsis. That sounds wonderfully wholesome, and I am so here for it. I'm already obsessed. Benjamin Dean smashed it out of the park with Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. I cannot wait to see what he does with this one. So I am very, very excited for this one. Then we have another one that smashed it out of the park, B.B. Alston with Amari and the Great Game. This is the second book to Amari and the Night Brothers. I loved that book. It was definitely like Men in Black vibes 100%. I just thought it was fantastic, and this comes out on April 14th, so it's the second in the series. And let me just give this a quick read to make sure that nothing spoils it. Oh yes, it does, in the first line. So I'm not going to read that out, but in Amari and the Night Brothers, Amari has her brother's gone missing in the first book, and it turns out that he actually worked for a secret agency that deals with the supernatural, which is where the Men in Black element kind of comes in a little bit. So Amari ends up getting an invitation to go to this supernatural school type thing, agency type thing, and go and work for them. And she ends up taking the opportunity to go because it's a good opportunity for her to try and find out what's happened to her brother and where he is, because nobody's giving her any answers. So she ends up going, and there is obviously like a bit of bullying in there because some of the other kids don't think that she deserves to be there, etc, etc. And it's a story of her trying to find out what's happened to her brother while also getting involved in the supernatural world, because she had no idea there was such a thing as the supernatural world before all of this happened, because it was a secret and her brother wasn't allowed to tell her that he worked for a supernatural agency. So that's what's going on with that, and I'm really, really excited for the second one, so I cannot wait to pick that one up. Again, can't read the synopsis to you because it will spoil what happens in the first book, but I am hyped for that book, and if you haven't picked up Amari and the Night Brothers yet, you should do so, and I would highly recommend it. Then we have Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey, which is the second one in the It Happened One Summer series, which I didn't realise was going to be a series. This comes out on April 14th. I haven't read It Happened One Summer yet, but it's on my TBR to read very, very soon. I'm excited about it. So this one says, in the follow-up to It Happened One Summer, Tessa Bailey delivers another deliciously fun rom-com about a former player who accidentally falls for his best friend while trying to help her land a different man. King crab fisherman Fox Thornton has a reputation as a sexy, carefree flirt. Everyone knows he's a guaranteed good time, in bed and out, and that's exactly how he prefers it, until he meets Hannah Bellinger. She's immune to his charm and looks, but she seems to enjoy his personality and wants to be friends. Bizarre. but he likes her too much to risk a fling, so platonic pals it is. Now, Hannah's in town for work, crashing in Fox's spare bedroom. She knows he's a notorious ladies' man, but they're definitely just friends. In fact, she's nursing a hopeless crush on a colleague, and Fox is just a person to help her with a lackluster love life. And with a few tips from Westport's resident Casanova, Hannah sets out to catch her co-worker's eye. Yet the more time she spends with Fox, the more she wants him instead. As the line between friendship and flirtation begins to blur, Hannah can't deny she loves everything about Fox, but she refuses to be another notch on his bedpost. Living with his best friend should have been easier, except now she's walking around in towels, sleeping right across the hall, and Fox is fantasising about waking up next to her for the rest of his life. And man overboard. He's fallen for her, hook, line and sinker. Helping her flirt with another guy is pure torture, but maybe if Fox can tackle his inner demons and show Hannah he's all in, she'll choose him instead. This sounds a little bit like The Ugly Truth, if you've ever seen that, with Gerard Butler in it. It's a great fucking film. I love that film. It sounds a little bit like that. Those are the vibes I was getting from that. Very excited about that one. It sounds great. So I am hyped for that. Then we have a new Emily Henry book, which y'all will know if you've been here for a while. I have 5-starred Beach Read and You and Me on Vacation. I adored both of those books, so I am very excited for Book Lovers, which comes out on May 5th. It sounds great. I actually haven't read the synopsis for this. I have no idea what the synopsis is. It's Emily Henry. I was like, sure, let's buy it. Nora is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books. Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Nora has been through enough breakups to know she's the woman men date before they find their happily ever after. That's why Nora's sister has persuaded her to swap her desk in the city for a month's holiday in Sunshine Falls, North Carolina. It's a small town straight out of a romance novel, but instead of meeting sexy lumberjacks, handsome doctors, or cute bartenders, Nora bumps into Charlie. She's no heroine, he's no hero. So can they take a page out of an entirely different book? Ooh, I am here for it. That sounds fantastic. Yes, please. That sounds really good. I am definitely here for that one. Next we have Fire Song, which is a Brightstorm book by Vashti Hardy. I loved Brightstorm. I'm fairly certain I've read Dark Whispers, but I can't remember, but I own it now, so I can reread it. And this one comes out on May 5th. The cover for it is stunning. I am obsessed with the bear. And this one is the exciting conclusion to the Brightstorm twins adventure pack story, following Arthur and Maudie, and they end up on a ship called Aurora. I'm not going to read the synopsis out of this one because I don't know if it spoils, yeah, it will, spoils the other books. But we're following twins, Arthur and Maudie, and in the first book they end up on this ship called the Aurora. I think they're looking for their parents. I can't remember the full ins and outs of it, but it's a really good adventure story, middle grade adventure story, and I would highly recommend. I do want to reread, I read Brightstorm bloody ages ago, but I do want to reread it and then read Dark Whispers, or reread it if I've already read it, I can't fucking remember, and then get to Fire Song, as well, because it sounds wonderful and I'm very, very excited. Then we have Lightfall Volume 2, which is Shadow of the Bird by Tim Probert. This is a graphic novel. It's a graphic novel that I buddy read with Jade, the first one, earlier on this year. We had a fantastic time and absolutely loved it, the pair of us. We really loved it. This comes out on May 12th and we're very excited about it, both of us. And this is a series following Bee and Cad, who are on a quest. I think Bee's looking for something for her grandmother. I can't fully remember what the ins and outs of it are, but I think she's looking for something for her grandmother. They end up going on an adventure. She comes across Cad, who is trying to help her out. It's just wonderfully wholesome. I just adored it. The illustrations are beautiful. The whole story is fantastic, and I would highly recommend picking this one up if you're into your graphic novels. Just a bit of an adventure story, fantasy obviously, and I would highly recommend it. So, so good. Me and Jade absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to buddy read this one with her as well, because we're going to have the best time. Then I have Only on the Weekends by Dean Atter. This one comes out on May 12th. I absolutely loved Black Flamingo by Dean Atter, which I read earlier on this year. It was great. This one says, Mac never thought he'd find love, but now two boys want to be with him. Will he choose Carmen or Finley? And can true love last forever? A must-read queer love story for fans of Sarah Crossan and sex education, written in verse by Dean Atter. This is one thing that I do love about Dean Atter's books, is that they write them in verse, and I'm just really, really excited about this one. on. It sounds really good. The cover is beautiful and I'm so here for it. So very, very excited about this one. Then we have Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, which comes out on July 21st in the UK. This one says, hidden amongst us is a secret coven of witches. They are her They are Her Majesty's Royal Coven. They protect the crown and country from the magical forces and other worldly, but their greatest enemy will come from within. There are whisperings of prophecy that will bring the coven to its knees, and 5 best friends are about to be caught at the centre. Life as a modern witch was never simple, but now it's about to get apocalyptic. Prepare to be bewitched by Juno Dawson's first adult series, a story of ancient prophecies and modern dating of sacred sisterhood and demonic frenemies. It sounds really interesting. I didn't know anything about this, to be honest, and one of the Instagram pods that I'm in, the girls in that group were chatting about it, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. So I had a butcher's, and I'm here for witches, kind of, you know, looking after the crown, essentially. I'm so excited about it. Anything to do with witches I'm down for, so I'm really looking forward to that one. It sounds great, and also it sounds like it's going to be queer, so I'm here for that too. And then the last book on this list is Silverborn by Jessica Townsend, which is the mystery of Morrigan Crow. This is the 4th book in the Morrigan Crow series, and this comes out October 13th. This has been put back a couple of times now, so I do envisage it being put back again, possibly, especially with the problems that publishing are having at the moment with the paper shortage and stuff, but I'm hoping that's not the case. So fingers crossed that's not the case, but we'll see what happens. Again, I cannot read the synopsis out for you of this, but so essentially in the first one we're following Morrigan Crow, who is a cursed child and destined to die on her 11th birthday, but it turns out that this man called Jupiter North swoops in and saves the day and takes Morrigan away from her terrible parents, and he takes her to the secret city of Nevermore, in which it turns out she's not cursed, she's got magic. And it's awesome. I really love it. It's a very good series. I do highly recommend. I am very excited to get Silverborn and to carry on with the series. I do think I'm going to need a reread, because I clearly was not concentrating when I read the 3rd one. I had no idea that there was going to be a 4th book in this series. Jade was like, duh, did you read Hollowpox or what? And I was like, I did, but I clearly wasn't concentrating properly because I didn't know it was left on a cliffhanger ready for Silverborn, but apparently it was. So I'm gonna need to reread that in order to get my shit together and know exactly what's going on. But yeah, those are the 21 books that I have pre-ordered so far for the year of 2022. Whether or not I pre-order anymore is yet to be seen. I can't remember what other series may be coming out soon that I need to get the next one in, or what else might be coming out soon, but you know, let me know in the comments down below if you expected something else to be on this list and I haven't pre-ordered it, because maybe I forgot some stuff. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with exactly what's coming out when, so let me know in the comments down below if there was other stuff you expected to be on here and it wasn't. Let me know if you now go ahead and pre-order anything because of this. I would be really interested to know that. And yeah, chat to me in the comments down below. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.